Започваме презентацията.
So quiet. Welcome to Thessaloniki again. It's a very proud moment to have you here. We started scouting this in 2020, me and Clara and Madeleine, and then something happened. There was a small pandemic. I don't know if you heard about it, but no. We heard about it, so it took 5 years, almost 4 years before we were here, but it's a very proud moment. So, welcome here, and let me just say before we start the presentation that the presentation is on the USB sticks with some speaker notes and so on. So you're more than welcome to take photos of the presentation if you like, but you don't need to put it on the presentation. Good. Then let's start. And the first obvious question is, of course, why are we in Greece? Well, it's quite simple. Normally you journalists are quite frequently in Spain. That's one of the reasons. I mean, you're there for the car industry, for the vans, for the buses, for the trucks. So we wanted to do something else. And at the same time, we would like to have roads with low density traffic. And you will see tomorrow that we have that here. And it's some good, nice scenery as well to take nice, good photos. And the obvious thing is that it's the southeastern pearl of Europe. It was founded 315 years before Christ, so it's 2,340 years old, maybe, or close to. And tomorrow you get to drive the new FX range. So it is a proud moment. Thank you for coming. We couldn't have done this without support from the local private importer, Sarakakis Group, and they are, in one sense, they are more Volvo than we are, because they are still handling Volvo cars as well, so they are handling the sales and aftermarket of both Volvo cars and the whole Volvo Group. And they have been fantastic to work with in terms of scouting the routes, the restaurants and everything. And my Greek is not so good, and their Swedish is not so good, so it's very good to have the interaction in between. So it's a little bit of a recognition to them as a company. It has been a good collaboration. So, but before we start on the presentation, let us start with one of the launch movies. Some of you might have seen it, but we think it's good, so let's... Yes?
How far can we go? It's a question that defines us. The answer lies in decades of being a pioneer in the industry. It lies in the innovation of efficiency, comfort, and safety. The answer is, how far can we imagine? And this is it. Our most energy-efficient trucks to date, reshaped to push beyond the limits of the past, always putting drivers and safety first. A range based on change, embracing the essence of progress. A range created to find out just how far it can go.
A good one. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Tobias Bergman and I'm heading the Volvo Trucks Press department. Been on that job for roughly 5 years now. I have two fantastic colleagues with me today, and I let them present themselves.
Thank you, Tobias. I'm Matthias Olberg, Director of Product Introductions, and I've been with this FH Aero project now for 4 years. So just like Tobias said, it's a very proud moment to be here today and be able to present this to you.
And my name is Jonas Nordqvist, and I'm heading a transport industry intelligence team at the headquarters at the Volvo Trucks. So really looking forward to tonight and the day tomorrow with you.
Thank you. But to start then, Volvo Trucks have a strategy, a three-path strategy, and it's I'm very proud to work for a company who reckon that we need to cover all different propulsion technologies. The strategy talks about battery electric vehicles. Those we have already launched, and you will drive some of them tomorrow. Fuel cell electric vehicles in a pretty close future. And then the most important thing, talking about combustion engines, and I know Jonas will come back a little bit to that. We reckon that we need all those different technologies for the future of transportation. The thing is, what do we put into those technologies? It needs to be green energy, of course. And Jonas will tell you a little bit later on. So it's very important for us. This is proud. It's not just like launching one electric truck and then we solve the problems of transportation. We really need to do everything where it makes sense. So it's really important. Aerodynamics, which we will of course cover quite big in this launch. It doesn't matter what type of propulsion system you have. Aerodynamics is super important, and it's also very proud. Matthias will tell us more about what we have done on the products. But it's fantastic to sort of work through a complete vehicle in terms of getting it up notch with the aerodynamics. But that's not all. We are also using the phrase "little drops make the mighty ocean," and by saying that we refer to not only the obvious things like the cab and the CMS system, but rather software changes on the safety side, some small details in between the cab to close fits, gaps and fit and finish. And we will cover that in this presentation. And by that, Matthias, do you feel up for it?
Yes.
Thank you.
Alright, so let's have a closer look then to this product launch and what's really included in a bit more of details. First of all, already mentioned, and we emphasize it again, aerodynamics. You know that we have a new EU legislation since 2020 allowing us to enlarge the cab, prolong the cab, and still stay legal if you run with a full ISO trailer. And this is done with energy efficiency in mind, to optimize the vehicle and to reduce fuel consumption and CO2 emissions. And the Volvo Aero is really the Volvo Trucks response to this legislation. And it's all about air resistance. So I will put a question to you here. If we take a typical long-haul vehicle running at highway speed, do you know how much out of the fuel consumption of the vehicle that is actually directly related to air resistance? Do you have an idea? Very high. Yeah. Good guess. And what is very high? You think in numbers, percent? 30? Yeah, you're spot on. It's actually, you have already seen the presentation.
So 33.33.
30%. Roughly. No, it's around 1/3. So it's pretty much. So aerodynamics is really important. And if you run an electric vehicle, it can actually be as much as 50%. So with that in mind, we have created the FH Aero and FH16 Aero, and we have actually then cut fuel consumption with up to 5%. And this we have proven in on-road tests. It's validated figures. We have done a lot of testing, and we know that we will reach up to 5% in long-haul applications. And how did we do that then? Well, if we look just as an overview here, what changes have we done to the vehicle? Whatever we have done here, it's done with aerodynamics in mind. So just to cover some parts, if we look at the top first, we have redesigned our trim panel at the top to optimize aerodynamics, and also a new installation of our end outline marking lights and a new extra main beam installation as well. Also the camera monitor system, which is also a very vital part when it comes to aerodynamics. The camera arms are designed to minimize air resistance. And moving further down, we have also rounded the corners of the cab quite much, so it's a smooth round shape here and down here as well, to really let the air easily flow around the cab, not creating any turbulence. So that's to give it a low air resistance. We also have changed the grille. We have moved it down. If you recognize our standard vehicles, we have moved it down to here now, with our new grille, new aero mark, and one large footstep down here, a very wide step, which you will see tomorrow as well. Looking at the standard cab, we have a number of updates here as well. We have the same trim panel at the top, also optimizing aerodynamics. We have updated the front panel, and we have added also some ceilings to the different panels in the front, also to reduce air resistance and guide the air in the best way. And also here the camera monitor system is available on the standard cabs. The same goes for the FM as well. It's basically the same updates here, and that goes for the FMX as well. And interior-wise, what you will first recognize here as well is the camera monitor system with the screens here on the A-pillars instead of the standard mirrors. So we have a 12-inch screen over here and a 15-inch on this side. We have done a number of, updates here. I will not go through them all, you have it in your presentation material. But to mention a few, we have updated the user interface of our side display, and we have adapted the steering wheel buttons to match the new user interface. We have also updated our sound system, so we have new speakers, new amplifiers, so it's really a good sound now in the cab. And we also have an extended version of the sound system with even more powerful amplifier and also subwoofer. So with that, you really have a premium sound. And in this launch we have also we are introducing a fully black interior. So it's all black from here, the A-pillars, and also in the bunk area, the living compartment. And this is something that is also, we know, much appreciated and awaited among customers. And with this new EU legislation, if you extend the cab, the Aero cab, it also opens up the opportunity to go with the XXL cab, meaning that you will have a large cab with more space and comfort for living, and with this you can then still run with a full ISO trailer. So if you combine the XXL cab with the FH Aero, this is a fully possible combination for maximum comfort. Let's move on and take a closer look at the camera monitor system. I already mentioned that it's important from an energy efficiency perspective. But with this, we are also adding a number of quite important and good features for our drivers. And let's check it out. If we take this one first, this is something that you recognize well if you drive a truck running with the sun in your back. You have quite much of glare in standard mirrors like this. You can almost be blinded by the sun in the mirror. While with the camera monitor system, this is not a problem anymore. You can see here examples of how it looks. You have a very good view, so the system filters out this light, so you will have a good view even with the sun in the back. This is something that is also well known. If you run in the winter time, dirty roads, it's a lot of salt, dirt, rain, you know. Typical winter in the center of Europe. We have a lot of soiling on the side windows and also on the mirrors, preventing you to have a good view. While with the camera monitor system, as you can see here, it's a really clear view. That's because of the camera sitting on the camera arms. It's very well protected, and the air is guided in such a way that there is no dirt reaching the camera lens. And also, if it's raining, you will have no water coming onto the camera lenses, so it will be kept clean, really, even in the worst weather. When it comes to depth perception, that's something that is different. I mean, if you have mirrors, you know how it looks. With the camera monitor system, it's different. The perception is different. And to support that, we have added those lines. You can see over here, reference lines. So the first one here, the longest one, indicates the end of your vehicle, the end of the trailer. And the other two lines are reference lines further behind, just to give you a perception of the depth or distance to other vehicles. Those lines you can turn on or off. It's up to your own preference if you need to use them or want to use them. You can also expand the lines to make them wider, so that you cover not only the first lane but the second lane as well, to keep good sight of all the traffic if you're overtaking and changing lanes, for instance. This is the standard view in the monitor, with the main view here and a wider view here. Here we have the possibility also to zoom out. Just by clicking a button, you get a much wider view. So you can use it driving on a highway or in tight areas. You will have a better overview with this view, and you can switch easily between the views. And this is a Volvo unique feature that we bring to our customers. Another issue you may come across when you drive with a trailer, if you take a sharp turn, you go into an intersection or a roundabout, you know that you will not always see the full length of the trailer or the end of the trailer if you make a sharp turn. And we have a solution to that here with our panning function. So the camera system will actually adapt and expand the view so that you will always see the full vehicle, and you have a very good overview of the full turn, helping you in tight sections. And this panning function is available not only for the semi-trailer combination, but actually for all the different versions that you can see here. The length from 16.5 meters all the way up to 24, 25.5, and even the Nordic combination of 34.5. So the system is tested and validated and certified for all those combinations. Going into reverse, again, the same problem. where you will not be able always to see your full trailer. This is the normal view over here, and if you make a sharper turn, you will not see the end of the trailer. So here, you have the possibility to expand the view also. You can open it up 2 steps to widen the view, like this one and the next step here. So very helpful as well when you make tight maneuvers, and you can easily switch between the modes here to help you out. And this is also a Volvo unique feature, having those different steps when you reverse. And this one, during night time, if you look at the first one, it's standard mirrors in night time. This is a vehicle parked in a dark spot, and this is what you will see in the mirrors. With the same vehicle parked in the same spot, same conditions, same light and so on. This is the view with the camera monitor system. So already here you have more light than the standard mirrors. But here we have added the feature of infrared light as well to give you an even better view, and that's what you see over here. So by clicking a button, you will have a really good view and a lot of more light. And this you can use either when driving or if you do maneuvers, reversing, parking and so on. And a bonus with this is that we also have surveillance mode. So if you park the truck for the night, for instance, in a truck stop, and you come to rest here in your bed, and you want to check what's going on around the truck, you can enable the system. You can start it up by pressing a button just next to the bed, and then the screens will light up, and you will actually see exactly what's going on both sides of the vehicle. And you can also start the system if you sit in the driver's seat or passenger seat, reading a book or something. You just press a button on the screen, and you will start up the system. So it's a very good security feature for the driver. And this night mode with the IR technology is also a very new feature. So, to summarize, we have taken our time to develop this system. We know that we are not first out on the market, but that's a conscious decision from Volvo Trucks. We took this time to make sure that when we now enter the market with this system, we know that we bring value to our customers, to our drivers, with those features. So this is not just a replacement of standard mirrors. This is much more with valuable features brought to the customers. Right, with that, let's leave the camera monitor system and handing over the word to Jonas.
Okay, so I will continue to talk a little bit about our powertrain offering, and we say power with a purpose, and it could for some feel a little bit odd that we are talking about and launching the biggest diesel engine on the market while we are at the same time in a world that is transforming, and it's all about electrification, and it's about fuel cell technology and hydrogen, and here I have to say that I'm really proud to work for a company that has the ability to see the full picture. Yes, the electrification is a key element, and we have our 3-point strategy, as to be just started to talk about, where electrification is really a key element, hydrogen is the second key element, but we also have our combustion engines. And in the combustion engines, we can of course run the engines on HVO, biodiesel. We can run them on gas, natural gas, or preferably biogas. So, and we also have then customers in this transformation that is really focusing on pulling really heavy loads. We have the big installations of wind farms, and we have an electric grid expansion that requires heavy transformators, electric transformators to be moved, so. But we have also our Australian colleagues that hauls road trains, and in Finland and up north in Sweden we have our timber transporters that are really hauling 76 tons at the moment is the highest, but we see a growing weight in many cases in extreme conditions. And here, this 17-liter FH16 fits perfectly. So it has power with a purpose. It comes with a horsepower range of from 600 to 780 horsepower, and we are talking Newton meters then 3,000, 3,400, and a top line then of a massive 3,800 Newton meter. And that of course is the enabler of really strong hill taking capability. And power to pull extreme loads. But going downhill is equally important in order to be safe. And here we now offer 525 kilowatt hours of VEB plus or engine brake performance. That enables then safe downhill performance, high average speed and productivity. Coming back also to the environmental part of this big engine, all these ratings are okay to run on HVO, and the 700 horsepower unit, it's okay to be on B100 and the first generation biofuels. So, torque-wise, we carry over the heritage that we are famous for, 950 RPM to 1400 RPM full torque. And on the top line level, we have been focusing to increase the torque in the low end and the most efficient part of the range between 1000 and 1200 RPM, where we reach then 3800 Newton meters. And that enables, if we look at the available power, already at 1000 RPM we have 550 horsepower, and that is more than the most powerful 13-liter engine that we are offering. So already at 1000 RPM. So this is a really powerful and efficient engine. When we talk about fuel efficiency on this engine, we can say that it will be better than the old one, but with let's say some percentages. But we are not sharing the final result because we are in the final validation, so we will not, we cannot say the exact figures at the moment. But it is a really advanced, nice package, so we foresee that it will be very efficient for its power level.
And it's, like you said, Jonas, it's a fantastic achievement to be able to cut energy consumption and at the same time raise the torque and raise the productivity. So you will feel it tomorrow. It's an astonishing engine.
So with that, I leave the engine part, and then we will continue then to talk a little bit more about what happens when you drive the vehicle. And I think you are well aware of our IC system that has been introduced already 2012, making our cruise control GPS based or making our cruise controls learn the route So at that time we could learn the route the first time you drove it, and the second time you ride, the vehicle would remember the route and could optimize the driving behavior to save fuel. Now 10 years later, we have completely moved to map-based GPS function, and it has become, we were first on the market 2012. Now it's a commodity in the market where all truck manufacturers are running these type of systems. Right now we are then prepared to take the next step to improve the efficiency of the controller by introducing then some new functionalities. And the first part is that the vehicle will have the ability to know what are the speed regulation and what are from the available map data. We also utilize the sensors, the camera that we have to look in front of the vehicle so we can read the road signs. And that means that we can always have the accurate speed, allowed speed, and can adopt according to that. The second one is initially we have been focusing on running cruise control on highway. But now with the advanced map data, we also know the curvature of the road, we know the up and downhill, how the inclination look like in front of the vehicle. And therefore we can adapt the speed according to go safely around corners, and also by that making the driver, giving him the possibility to stay on the cruise control without disengaging. We are actually moving so far so we know where there is roundabouts and how big the roundabout is, so we can adapt and slow down in front of the roundabout and adapt the speed depending on if it's a small roundabout or if it's a big roundabout. All in all, this will increase the possibility for the drivers to utilize the advanced cruise control system and thereby be more safe in the traffic and at the same time be able to save energy and save fuel in the entire driving cycle. The second part that is new is, now we have been talking with the IC system, it is about controlling the speed. Now we are also adding the capability to control the steering. And this started already with our lane keeping support system, that you know when you drive and you go a little bit to the side of the road, you get a warning sound in the cabin that tells you that it's time to steer to the center of the lane again. Now we are utilizing our dynamic steering system, so it's a fully integrated system that now will steer the vehicle to the center of the road. And you can actually let go of the steering wheel, similar to what you find in many passengers' cars these days. But here I would like to do a very important statement from Volvo Trucks. This is not a driving robot. This is a driver enhancement system. So it is a system that is designed for that the driver should drive the vehicle, steer the vehicle by hand. But the system will be able to make a good driver become even better, because it will give slight guidance to make sure that you are safe in lane. With this technology we can also add other safety related functions, and that is, first of all, if you get sick and you will not, then you stop steering the vehicle will detect that you are not steering. So after 15 seconds, it will send a signal to you that it is time to continue steering. If you do nothing, after 15 seconds more, so 30 seconds, then you will get, let's say, the final warning. And if you continue to be out of the loop, the vehicle will stop on the road. It will slow down, nice and gently, put on the warning lights, unlock the doors and light the cabin. So if you are out of the system, you will have the possibility to get help from other citizens around you. And this is of course a part, if you abuse the system, it will do the same thing. But I think it's important, we want to see it as an increased safety functionality. Yes, I will not talk too much about the intelligent speed assist, but that also comes with the legislation. Oh, sorry, do you have a question?
In the case of the driver is sick,
Yeah.
the truck also on the side.
Right.
I think in the highway.
The truck will actually stop in the lane where you are driving. So if you are on the highway, it will stop in the highway.
And we call it safe stopping lane. So the function.
So we don't want to cause higher risk by trying to slowly. Yeah. And tomorrow we will
it will break, but it will break gently.
Ще намалява, но ще намалява внимателно по контролиран начин.
And so in reality, you will have brake lights and you will have hazard lights and so on. So it will be the same thing as if you are stopping in the lane.
And you will be able to test this tomorrow if you speak with the instructors in each cab. It's very low density traffic, so there will be possibilities tomorrow.
Ако няма много голямо натоварване на пътя, ще можете да тествате това нещо и да видите системата. Общо 45 секунди без реакция. Няма нужда да спре камиона изцяло, но ще видите намаляването и как работи самата система.
Standard functionality of the truck?
This is when you have the pilot assist or the IC system, then you also have the pilot assist.
Когато имаме
But you can, when you engage your cruise control on the steering wheel, you get three choices. If you want to go pilot assist, adaptive cruise control, or normal cruise control. And this function is done if you select pilot assist, because then we sort of tell all the way stay in between the white lines.
And if I move the steering wheel while the truck is slowing down, so detects that now I'm not.
Then it will abandon the function.
Тогава функцията ще спре, няма да...
Защото
имаш реакция и
But I think we will demonstrate this in a very thorough way tomorrow, so the best thing is to experience how it works. Okay. The intelligent speed assist is part of the general safety regulation, and it comes with that we are reading the speed sign, and if you are, let's say, not driving on cruise control and you are over speeding and the speed is changing, you will get the information in the instrument cluster. So that is pretty basic and straightforward. Continue to talk about safety. We really care about our colleagues around us, and this is also a part of, in the legislation today, we have we need to have a side detection for cyclists and pedestrians and so on one side. But for Volvo trucks, it is clear that we are a safety company. So for us, it's natural that this is supposed to be offered on both sides. We offer on both sides, so exceeding the legislation. And here, then we are focusing then on detecting. As on this picture of bicycles, and the system adapts. So if it's on slow speed, it's more likely that you will have a bicycle or a pedestrian, but on a higher speed it's more looking for cars, motorbikes and so on. So very valuable safety support for our colleagues around the vehicles in the traffic. Just to show how Volvo then walks the extra mile. When we are offering this type of system, we think, okay, we know that when stopping a truck and you turn off the ignition, typically you will leave the truck within 2 minutes. So therefore we decided to leave the sensors on and leave the system active. So when stopping the vehicle, if you're in a hurry, you turn off the ignition key, and when you start opening the door on the driver or passenger side, if there is something moving at the side of the vehicle, we will warn you that, okay, now it's not safe to open the door. And this is of course by using the sensors and the technology that we have at hand to create additional safety value around our trucks.
Little drops make the mighty ocean.
Little drops make the mighty ocean. And the last part of this safety surround view is our update of our collision warning and emergency braking that can stop for cars and trucks, and now focusing down on vehicles coming on the side and in front and turning. And here then detecting vehicles, motorbikes, bicycles, etc. And the system then works as the collision warning system. So it first warns the driver with a visual signal. If you don't react or you are too slow in reacting, the system will then apply the brakes and try to mitigate the crash, or at least take down the speed so the crash will not be so violent. So that was the final part of our safety perspective. And before we close or take the questions, I would like to just summarize and say that with this launch, it's really nice to see how we want to say that we package a complete system. It's about the efficiency of the vehicle with the aerodynamics, but it's also about changing the way we operate the vehicle with more safety related functions, like the camera monitoring system that is both energy and fuel efficiency, but also a lot of unique functions. It is not just replacing mirrors with a camera. We are adding night vision. We are adding panning when reversing, so you will avoid hitting other trucks or damaging the vehicle. And we are adding the unique surveillance mode, so you can feel safe when living in the cab and sleeping in the cab. If there is, you can monitor what is happening around the vehicle. So thank you for that, and I hope that you have a lot of questions and reflections.
Take the opportunity. All easy questions to me and all difficult to the spokes guys.
Thank you to them.
Yes.
Is the truck I'm talking about roadside recognition. Is the truck reducing the speed by himself?
Yes. So the truck will, if you go 80 and the speed limit goes to 60, then the truck will adjust the speed to 60.
Yeah, but sometimes the people which are putting these signs are crazy and they're putting them on very short distance, and this speed change should be very fast.
Yeah, then of course it can be tricky to adopt if we are 40 tons, 50, 60 tons. So it's,
Because I know from our competitors that they don't have very good experience with that. Especially Mercedes.
I think we are very good as long as the temporary speed, the map data that we have in the data that we have in the maps makes us proactive, so we can slow down in advance. Of course, if there are road work or temporary speed limitations, it is more difficult. So it is the situation that you explained. Yeah, it can happen.
Is it really that all components, all functions are really autonomous driving level 2?
It's really good that you say autonomous level 2, because it is an autonomous level 2 system. It is not to be seen as something higher. It's the driver should be in the loop.
It's a very good question, yeah. So it's exactly what it is. So it's super. It's not an autopilot. It's an assist system. You will feel it tomorrow. We think it's, of course, we are a bit biased, but it is. Yeah. Let's see your reactions tomorrow. I think it will be good.
Do you know which is the impact of camera mirror on the aerodynamics?
I will let Matthias take that question because this is...
Yeah, like I said, I mean, it's a whole package. The FH Aero is apparently the redesign of the cab, including the camera arms as well. And since aerodynamics is a bit of art as well, it's all those bits and pieces together. So it's very hard to isolate one piece or one corner or one arm and so on to give you flavor. So it all adds up to the total of the 5% that we can reach. So that's the best answer we can give.
And it's also complex since we have the CMS as you presented on both the Aero and the standard cab. So even if we should try to give a value, it will be very. I mean, there is not an absolute figure, so it's tricky. But it's a big contributor, we can say.
Yeah, it is. It's a vital part of the improved aerodynamics. It is.
So summarizing, you have worked on the three principal items that are aerodynamics, safety, also design is related with aerodynamics, and for the other part of the vehicle, engine, cinematic, etc.
But should I jump in, or should you? Because we have been working a lot on the IC and the 16, but also...
I think you can continue.
No, but I mean, I think you're right. To be honest, it's aerodynamics, that's the obvious thing. And that is then related, of course, to energy efficiency, and then safety. But then we also have done the recognition of the D17 for the real high consumers. But there are also, like Matthias presented in the overview, there is a new stereo system, there's a new navigation system coming from SideGig, there are USB, so you can say that the already good interior, we have lifted it one level more, and we have the black interior and so on. So, but the big things are on the safety side and on the aerodynamic side, giving efficiency. Then my phrase there about small drops make a mighty ocean. There is a lot of small things which you will see tomorrow.
За малките капки и големия океан са наистина неща, които правят голямата разлика и ще можете да ги видите.
What is the next challenge you want to win?
Какво е следващото предизвикателство, което искате да спечелите?
We would like to win all challenges. No, but you mean in terms of energy efficiency, or do you mean in terms of
енергийна ефективност или каква е следващата ви цел?
Can I comment
to improve your trucks?
I think.
Want the future?
No, but I think we are.
Tobias, should I make a comment?
Yes, of course.
No, but I think the question is very relevant, and I would like to come back to what we talked about here. I mean, we are into a transformation, and that is our biggest challenge. We are going from burning diesel and emitting carbon dioxide, and we have committed our company to be carbon neutral towards the Paris Agreement towards 2050, and we have committed ourselves to not emit any carbon emissions from 2040. And we have
new vehicles
from new vehicles, and that is the biggest challenge that we are working on. So it's but we are at the same time we also, I mean, are developing a complete vehicle, so we will see a lot of these new technologies coming in other areas as well. But that is the key and the biggest challenge that we are focusing.
I agree with you, and one way to getting there is, of course, the new technologies and propulsion, but also digitalization of the complete vehicle, like the camera monitors is only the beginning. Then, of course, we will explore that area more and more. So,
отношение ще има повече и повече такива неща. Можем да кажем, че новото поколение шофьори ще бъдат пилоти.
Yeah,
if a pilot is a very
we have drivers here. We have drivers here.
The drivers is our most important asset to make the vehicles run on the road. And what we do here, we call it the pilot assistant, and we want to make our pilots' life as good as it can be. And that is they should be safe, and they should be able to deliver the goods in the most safe, efficient way. That is our
But I also think it's an interesting angle, because if you look on older driver then who has driven a very analog vehicle, if you like, with manual stick shift and normal servo and so on. Of course, they are a little bit scared of all the new functions. But of course, the younger drivers coming from a tablet generation, if you like, they would be more used to screens, digital solutions and so on. So I think it's yeah. I mean, the industry we work in is the best industry to work in, because it will, I mean, yeah, look on where we are now. It will just be even more interesting.
Many things are by software. So I'm curious, how long do you think to update the service of the product that you have with this new technology for mirror camera or for safety? I think that a truck with a new technology will need some update of the software, of the system.
Yeah.
Do you think now how many years you can guarantee the update of the system? Sometimes I'm thinking about Laura told you about the older drivers. They have a different view of the things, and they think that, okay, I want a new truck with a function for years and years, but now the world, you know, it's very different from this view. So I think that you have to balance the needs to have a system updated every year and a system for a long time.
Yeah. I would say, without knowing 100%, I would say that we have a legal obligation to have spare parts for 15 years for vehicles we sell. So I mean, at least for 15 years we need to cover the different software solutions that are in vehicle, and then, of course, we don't know exactly how the emission legislations and so on going forward is, so we don't know how long the life is for the vehicle, but I think if I should guess, at least that's the best answer I can give. So.
And what about Euro 7?
Yeah, that's a tricky part. I ask you tell us what will happen with Euro 7, because that is really...
Because I know that yesterday European institution decided something about terms and conditions of Euro 7 regulation?
I mean, it has been an on and off discussion for some years now. When will it come? What will it look like? The first proposition, as most of you know from the European Union, was more or less an engine that nobody could build because it contains technologies that we have not started to encourage yet. So it's a very valid question, but I don't have a good answer to that. But we are, of course, as you can imagine, we are listening as close as you are, and I'm wondering how will it look, when will it come, and no good answer to that, I'm afraid.
Honest though. And we appreciate your honesty.
Yeah, thank you. I wish I could say that it will come then and it will look like this, but I can't. And I don't think you can either. So,
and if it will come, we will be there and deliver product that meets the legislation. So it's
със сигурност, обаче ще можем да направим продукти, които да отговарят на изискванията.
Okay.
Any more questions? Or I have one final slide, but before we leave the question and reflection session, we will be with you over the whole dinner and so on. So we can continue discussing this over the dinner. But I have one final slide, and I think you would like to know something about maybe that is a part of why you are here. Throw me that. Thank you. And then we do like that. So, when we talk about driving impression at Volvo Trucks, it is normally around 300 kilometers of driving. We've been doing this since at least since 2008, and it's becoming sort of a phrase for us, and I'm very proud that we are here and doing this. Tomorrow then we will drive 326 kilometers in 4 different legs. So we start here at Sarakakis in Thessaloniki, and we drive out towards the Mediterranean to Asprovalta, where we will have the first change of trucks and we will have a coffee. Second leg then going just on the border of the Mediterranean all the way down here to Pangai, where we will change trucks again. Leg number 3 we go on the highway in between the mountains back to Asprovalta, and then we will go back to the Sarakakis dealer. So, in all, 330
Bus leaves the hotel at 7.
What?
Colleagues from Italy, are you ready for this?
You will have a fantastic long morning tomorrow.
Thank you for this.
Our apologies, but as I said, when we talked about the driving impression and the 330 kilometers driving, I mean, in order to fit it in one day, we need to sort of tie it together in a good package. So, breakfast, 6:15 tomorrow.
От 6:15 закуска.
And the bus leaves the hotel at 700 hours. And for those of you who will fly back tomorrow now, bring your luggage to the bus, because the same bus that drives you in the morning will drive you to the airport. We have 4 different truck types. It's the FHI Save Electric 460, the fuel weapon if you like, and then we have the FH16 780 Aero, we have the FH Electric Aero, and we have the FM. And all of them are with the CMS system. There will be instructors in all trucks. So they will help you. And after leg 3 then we will have a traditional Greek lunch on this fantastic restaurant here in Asprovalta. And then we take the last leg back to the place where we wash the trucks and fuel them, and there the bus will pick you up and take you to there. So it will be a long nice day. We will start around We'll try to get on the road around 8 o'clock, and you will be back somewhere between 3 o'clock and 3:30. So, all in all of you will drive 4 different trucks. And I don't know if everybody has CE license. If you don't have that, you get to drive all 4 different types. So it's good.
Do they need tachograph cards?
Preferably, yes.
Because in our case, I don't know how it's for the other colleagues, because we have professional truck drivers. If they use the tachograph cards, they will need a kind of letter that they have been on a test drive, blah 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 blah.
Then we put them on out for the professional drivers, and then for all others, use them as much as you can.
Super.
But I fully understand the legal aspect and the situation there. So we do that as a compromise. It's not optimal, but yeah, it's the easy way out.
Thank you for this.
Then Clara, make a reminder also that we need to help them to put the tacos on out. So we drive them with... What?
Print out.
Yeah. Good. We also have 2 photo cars with us tomorrow, 2 XC90s. So if any of you would like to jump out of one of the, if you want to miss one of the legs and go in one of the XC90s to take photos and running photos and so on, that's possible. And you can sit. You can also sit in the back and have the trunk lid open on some of the roads, not on the highway, but on leg number 2, for instance. And then you can sit there and think we have safety connected. Otherwise, you can sit in the truck at highway. We can't do that at highway. Then you can be out of the windows and so on. But there is 2 XC90s following the full lap. Any other questions on this, or is it super clear?
Sorry?
No? Any other questions on this?
Nope.
We will take care of you, so it will be good. I will not join you tomorrow. I will leave you at the dinner. I will fly back to Gothenburg tomorrow. But Clara will be with you, of course, and Jonas and Matthias will be with you, and a lot of our other colleagues. So you will be well taken care of.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good. And that was the final slide. So then I think we should just relax, have a nice dinner up there, and then we continue until 4 o'clock in the morning. We have 1.5 to 2 hours of sleep, and then we work. Yes?
Okay. We will check for the alcohol tomorrow morning.
What?
We will be checking for the alcohol.
It depends on if you're thinking about drinking a lot, then we might check you. But if you say already now that you are not drinking so much, then we will not check you.
Safety first.
It's an early, so we should drive 40 tonners tomorrow. So I mean, there will be wine to the dinner and so on. Perfect. Then Jonas and Matthias, you can guide the team up to the restaurant. I will come as soon as I pack my computer and so on. So, thank you.
Thank you guys. Very good presentation.
Плескаш ли? Танче. Браво. Супер беше. Айде към ресторанта. Най-после викаш.
Бяхме сме, огладняхте ли? Не огладняхме.
Аз имам откъде да черпя.
И аз имам. Мога да дам на танчето.
На танчето да ни префърлиме малко.
35,
Ключови бутото.
10 кг.
Кой ще прехвърля повече?
Не. И те сам се спит, кой ще ми прехвърля?
Двама се карат, третия печели. Да.